welcome back to the channel. My name is Brell, the relationship mentor, and today we're going to talk about why every woman needs to make sure that she is married to a man that takes the vows seriously in health and in sickness. Those part of the vow, you need to make sure that your husband takes seriously. Because one of the things we're not realizing, when we decide to marry a man that's counting on our income, and we decide to do all of these crazy percentages, 50-50, 70-20, 80-10, 90-10, there's so many now. When we decide to break our income up and resources with the man and decide to agree to go into a relationship, go into a marriage with these type of percentages, we're actually harming ourselves in the long run. Because when you take these vows and you say in sickness and in health, you need to make sure this man not only has the character to back up that vow, but also the income to make sure that he can uplift that vow. And the reason for that, because when you are in a relationship, you're in a long-term relationship, you've been together 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you have to realize that what happens if one of you becomes sick. And with women, married women tend to have more issues than single women. And that is because of the fact that a lot of married women, they don't believe, they neglect self-care. They neglect those doctor's appointments to run little Timmy to the doctor or to nag your husband about going to the doctor, that you forget that you need to go to the doctor. So we're looking at, in the United States, our autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases are those diseases that there's no cure. There's no cure. No matter what you do, you're not going to be cured. It's going to be something that you're going to live with for the rest of your life, in which I have a lot of experience in. So there's 1,762,450 cases in the United States, and there's over 80 different autoimmune diseases. So when you're dealing with an autoimmune disease, you need to make sure that you're marrying someone who's going to stick to that vow because of his character, and he's going to have the money to uplift that vow and make sure that he carries it out till death do us part. In the United States, there's over 9 million cases for cancer. And I don't even know how many types of cancer there are, because there's so many types of cancer and there's so many cases of cancer that we have to think of these things. Okay, and I know you men, you're waiting. You're waiting to say in the bottom of my comments, hey, she shouldn't marry a provider man because what if he gets sick? All right, so let's go ahead and address that. If he gets sick, a man that's the leader and provider of his family, he already has the resources in place because he already knows from the beginning of the relationship that he's going to be the one that's going to take care of the financial issues in the relationship. So let me tell you what a provider man has. A provider man normally has resources, which is something my husband went over today about our resources. He wanted to make sure I knew where everything was at, if something happened, what I can do, what I can pull from, and that is something your husband and you need to make sure you have also. Because if you don't have access to those resources, there's a problem. That's a problem. That's a whole nother video if you don't have access to the resources that your husband has built. Like I said, next to a millionaire. But you got to watch the video before this in order to understand that saying. But if he is the provider, he's established as the provider, the leader, the protector of the family. He has resources. He has a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E, and so on, because he knows that his family is at stake. He knows that if he doesn't have a plan and his wife is a stay-at-home mom, she is going to have difficulties that he doesn't want his kids to endure. So he's going to have a plan in the beginning. But ladies, when you go into these relationships where you're 50-50, 60-60, 70-70, I don't even know, and you continue to present with these type of percentages in a relationship or in a marriage, you are actually, and you get sick and your income is no longer available, you're setting yourself up for a problem. And what I mean by that, because he is not going to be used to leading. He's not going to be used to coming up with plan A, B, C, and D, because he's used to your input, your portion, and access to your resources. But what if you don't have resources? What if you get sick? So this is the reason why every woman should be marrying a provider man. This should not even be a saying. And the reason why I say provider man is because it's foolishness. It's foolishness to actually tell women that he has to be a provider. Like, how about this? Let's not worry about him being a provider, because if you actually have a man that has the character, he's going to be a provider. But you have to make sure that he has character, he has morals, he has values. He believes in traditional values in the first place, and dare I say he's a conservative? Oh well. But this is the reason why you need to make sure that you're married to a provider man, because of the fact that you don't know what's going to happen. You want to make sure that you and your children have the best life, live your best life, and you're not going to be able to do that if something comes in and brings you down. And then if you live in the United States are known, it's a capitalist society, so guess what? One bad bill can bring your entire empire down. If you're not planning for it, if you don't have access to some of the best insurance, if you don't have access to the best resources to take care of that issue. So, yes, a provider man, and I laugh internally a little bit, not just on this video, about a provider man. A provider man. I don't even know. That does not even come in all. That does not even roll off the tongue correctly, because when I think of provider man, I just see a man with character. I don't know what you ladies see, but I just see a man with character. I see a man who's willing to sacrifice for his family. I see a man who's willing to do what it takes to make sure that the roof over his family's head is paid for, and that they have a great life. But I see character. You see provider man. We're not the same. But hey, no pretty dummies. And I'll catch you on the next.